Happy New Year to all my subscribers and viewers. I hope this year of great expectations had started just as you hoped. We are truly grateful that you have watched our videos week after week and subscribe to the Rise Excel channel. And for those of you who haven't subscribed as yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to join the Rise Excel family. Don't forget to give a like, share the videos, also click the notification bell so that you will be notified every time we upload a video. Now, let's get into this week's video. Celebration, finding joy in every victory. God being our Father, friend, confidant, simply means we are blessed and highly favored. You might be looking back on the year that was 2024 and assessing the progress you've made. This is vital therapy, especially as we welcome this blessed new year. For some of us, life has never been an easy road. We put one foot in front of the other each day and keep moving, regardless of how downtrodden we feel or how many obstacles stand in our way. Sometimes life can feel like an advanced game of chess, with challenges at every turn, forcing you to think several moves ahead, anticipate the unexpected, and strategize your way through each hurdle. The competition is fierce and everyone seems to question whether you can pull it off. You're convinced yourself that this is your final move. Game over if it all falls through. You remember telling yourself, if this move doesn't work, I'm done. It wasn't just a passing thought, you meant it. But when major moves fell apart at the last minute, you knew you had to rally for the next opportunity with every ounce of determination you had left. Because survival is the art of the game. When it boils down to the nitty-gritty, quitting is never an option. Even when the odds are stacked against you, declare boldly, this is your season of growth, resilience, and victory. The chaos of the past, it shaped you. Every setback has paved the way for your breakthrough. Now step into clarity and purpose because your moment is coming. But remember, even victory comes with its battles. A little backstory here. I decided to pursue college in my very early 40s. And so I had no idea going in how challenging this decision was going to be for me. It was challenging on many different fronts. At first, I was given the go-ahead and was told that I needed to pass math in the first year to continue. And this math is a prerequisite, a high school math that I should have passed but didn't. And so going in, I didn't have that. And so I would have had to pass it to continue on to second year in college. And so I had that understanding. Nearing when colleges or schools are supposed to be opened, I realized I didn't get a call for an interview. And so I was concerned. And so I went by the college to check why I wasn't called in for that interview. It was then and there that I was told that I didn't meet the requisite credential for attending college, which was a shocker to me because months before, that wasn't what I was being told. And so even though I tried to explain to the person at the front desk that this wasn't the case before and that I was given the go-ahead, she was adamant that this was the case, and I couldn't do anything about it more than I went back home and I felt so frustrated, so sad, because I was really looking forward to attending college and just realizing that dream. Luckily for me, I had only mentioned this plight of mine to my 3 children, and so the disappointment I only had to explain it to them. I don't know if that make it any less, but for me, I was quite humbled by the fact that I had learned to keep my lips a little bit sealed when it comes to my plans, as I've learned from the past that that's the best way forward. But anyway, I remember even being hesitant to explain to them what had happened because I was still feeling a sense of defeatedness. And so after I finally mustered the courage to do so, I explained to them that I hadn't gotten through to college after all. And if by divine intervention, I received 2 WhatsApp messages on faith that following evening and morning, I took it as God's nudge, a reminder to say to me, don't just give up as yet. And so 2 days had passed and I went back to the institution because I wanted to know what I could do to ensure that I enrolled into college. I remembered clearly that day the office was abuzz with activity. A gentleman who I would have come to later on know as the registrar then came out and he asked me how he could have assisted me. I followed him to his office and I explained to him why I was there and my previous application. He was a little bit baffled, I could tell, as to why I was told otherwise, and asked as to who had told me that I wasn't qualified, and by then it was understood that the person was on lunch, and so he asked another gentleman for my documentations, and there and then decided that I would start college the following Monday. I truly would have loved to say that was the end of my dilemma as it regards to college, but no, it wasn't. There was so much in between starting college and the final lap of graduation or graduating. You can watch some of those in previous videos that I did. But it was a treacherous journey and also a fun journey for me in college. So, long story short, as we're on the topic of celebration, I'm just here to highlight how sometimes, regardless of what you're going through, you have to just persevere. Because during that time in college, as I said, I've endured much, had to put up with much. But in the end, as I'm about to tell you, there was a victory. So, there was this point around the final lap, somewhere thereabout, that I realized that my grades were being sabotaged. And in particular, there was this point where I received a C-, and to this day I can't fathom how. I have reached the point where I figured I didn't want to have much to do with any kind of controversy again at the school. And you might have figured that I might have been in 1 or 2. So at that point, I didn't know what to do. So the best thing I said, let me go back to the lecturer and ask why and how. So I did. She basically said that I did some coursework with a particular student that was really not of a high quality. I was really flabbergasted because the truth of the matter is I had never done any coursework pieces that semester with this particular student, and so I highlighted it to her that I did not do any coursework pieces with this particular students, and even went ahead to say who I did this particular coursework piece with. And she said, she said she was going to look into it, and so I should have given her a call at a particular time, which I did over and over again, because my close circle was saying, don't give up on your grade just like that, because this is not fair. And so I persisted, even when I was invited to many things outside of the curriculum, outside of academia, by this particular lecturer, but she would refuse from saying why my grade is C- when I didn't even do a coursework piece with this particular student. And I can clearly say it was sabotage, because even before this particular situation, I remember in the second year, I had gotten straight A. Unbeknownst to me, I did not know then. And so it was customary at the school, at the college, for those who, the 2 top students at the time, should have gotten an award. They should have attended an award ceremony. And I remember lecturers being excited to say who was going from our batch. You know, I didn't know that I had gotten straight A's at the time. And I remember just the head of department just cavalierly just came in and just mentioned it run it over by us and decided that, asked us to decide if we wanted to attend the award ceremony. And I guess the creme de la creme of the class decided it wasn't much of a big deal. And so nobody from our batch attended this award ceremony. I would have later found out that one of the persons from the class who got straight A's was me. So that one of those awards would have been given to me. And so that is how I know for sure and can say straight face that yes, I was being sabotaged there. But anyway, it boils down to the fact that I had a dream that said this particular lecture wasn't going to do much about the grade she gave me. And so when I woke up that morning, I gave it one final shot. And yes, the response was really not making much sense. And so I just decided, you know what, God, if you brought me to the end, if you brought me to graduation, it's good enough that I made it. With all that I've been through, it would have been good enough for me. And so I let it go, even with a heavy heart. The thing that even disturbed me then was that I had a dream, and in the dream I was given second upper class honors, to which I was so elated. And I even saw those who would have made it to graduation. So I went and I told a few of my fellow classmates. And so I felt defeated that I wouldn't live up to these expectations, at least what I had in my dream of getting a second upper class honors, because I spoke maybe too early, believing so much in my dreams. But anyway, I did reach the final lap of graduating, and that was just such an ecstatic feeling to finally say, yes, I did it. I finally completed something. With all the hardship I went through, I stuck it out, and here I am completing a degree. While it wasn't second upper class honors but lower second class honors, I was over the moon nonetheless. So it came time for us to collect our graduation package, and I went by the school and we were signing to say that we collected our package. But I remember when I went to sign, I was told after signing the first receipt that I had another to sign. So then I looked at her and she mentioned, oh, you got an award. And believe me, from then I was just operating an autopilot. I really lost it. Mentally, I lost it. I couldn't believe after all I've been through that God smiled upon me in such a way. Yes, my hard work did pay off, but also God had his own plan in everything, being the author and the finisher. And for me, I remember I just wanted to go home because I really just wanted to bawl my eyes out. And so I rushed to the taxi stand, and right there was this song playing, hearing it for the first time, You're Worthy of It All. And it repeated twice before the taxi drove off. As soon as I reached home, I couldn't wait to just bawl, wail in joy, in complete surrender to God's will and his plan, because who else could have done it in such a way, in such a fashion? And I remember just calling my daughter, who wasn't at home at the time, and letting them know the good news. And boy, we were just celebrating together. It was such a momentous victory to finally be able not only to say I'm graduating, but to have gotten a coveted award was just icing on the cake. Or so I thought. And so another chapter closed behind me. A few months after graduation, I was informed that my certificate was ready for collection. I went, signed for it, and took a look. Mighty God, I couldn't believe what I was seeing or what I saw. I read it once, twice, even thrice, and to this day I still look at it with awe. It said second upper class honors. I still, and you too, should still believe in miracle. Keep on believing that he who started a good thing in you will bring it to fruition and will always have the final say. Celebration was mine and it will be yours and it will be ours in this new year.